Just got off work. Thought I'd go live right quick before I go take care of some business because I ain't gonna be able to go live later. You know the title of this live, if you can hear me. Man, F them picks, dog. F them picks, that's where I'm coming from. F them picks. Cowboys. Great job. Wait to see who's coming in the building. What up? Brian Hartley, Daniel. Hey. He doing all right. Stephen Jones doing all right with his selective aggressive stuff. He doing all right. My dog. Andy, you know, I'm at the spot, my store. You know what, Ado Vaughn, I ain't talking about all that right now. My dog Tyrone Church said, you know what, Schottenheimer coached him over at Georgia. And once again, they wouldn't have brought George Pickens over here if they felt like he was going to be a serious issue and a serious problem. They wouldn't even attempt to do that. I mean, they tried to get him before the draft and they got him after the draft. So, you know what, I'm not going to live on what he did in Pittsburgh. That was in Pittsburgh. He didn't have the greatest situation over at Pittsburgh with quarterbacks and stuff like that. Look who he had over there as quarterback. Feel me? They wasn't winning games like that. So I'm not giving him no excuses on the routes or nothing like that. But you got a clean slate coming over here in Dallas. All that stuff that would happen in Pittsburgh, ain't nobody talking about that now. You feel me? Thanos, F them picks, dog. You feel me, the ninja? But that's what I said, though. This is what I said. Like, y'all got the power. Like, if y'all love all this hype and the hoopla, the Cowboys, and y'all love being in the news, this is how you get back in the news. Everybody's talking about it. That's why I said, that's why I've been saying in these shows, why don't y'all just go make it happen? Because you're going to get what you want. You feel me? You're going to get what you want. You know what I mean? You're Dallas Cowboys. You're the lightning rod of the whole NFL. And if y'all make one critical move, dog, it's going to be talked about in the media forever. So why wouldn't you do that? That's the only reason why I said, why wouldn't you do that? You feel me? Yeah, you feel me? Like, let's keep it real. Like, I can't even lie and say I'm not excited. I'm hella excited about the fact that, you know, I'm just excited for the simple fact that you're being aggressive, the selective aggressive, whatever you want to call it. Y'all have the power, like I said, to change the narrative. Now it's going to really be up to the coaches and the players. If the front office does what it's supposed to do, you put the onus on the coaches and the players, and now y'all got to make it happen. Ain't no excuses for y'all. You feel me? If the front office goes get George Pickens, if they really had a dope draft, I gave it a B+, then you add Pickens, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Now, ain't no excuse for these players, dog. Ain't no excuse for nobody. Quarterback on down. Y'all got to make it happen. Now, you ain't got no excuses. You got CeeDee Lamb right there. You got George Pickens right here. You got a tight end going in his last year of his deal, so you know you're going to get the best. That offensive line going to be doggish. I hope Tyler Guyton really takes his game to another level, dog. I hope he takes his game to another level, because if Tyler Guyton gets his head together and grows up, that offensive line is going to be crazy. They did the right thing. Like I said, this is the Shoddy effect, for real. What's up, David? This is the Shoddy effect for me. You know what I mean? Like, and plus, Shoddy is homegrown. You know what I mean? I feel like they go harder for homegrown guys. Mike McCarthy came from an outside, okay? So, as much as he done did for Green Bay, won a Super Bowl, did all them things, he still came from the outside. He still was an outsider. Homegrown, they love homegrown talent, and they love homegrown coaches. So I feel like just like they do with the homegrown players, they get a longer leash, right? They get a longer leash than players are on the outside. Same with the coaches, because look at Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett was homegrown. He was a guy that was in the facility, played for the team, went away for a year, came back. He got 9 years. and he ain't make the playoffs for the first 4. You feel me? And then got a 5-year deal after having one successful season. So you see the leash is longer for the homegrown talent. Mike McCarthy came over here winning a Super Bowl, and yeah, they said, he said, nah, I'm cool. No, I think they were cool on him too. You know what I'm saying? But you see, he had, 4 years? If you are outsider, you get 3 to 4 years, unless you absolutely terrible. You come through Dallas as a homegrown coach and a homegrown talent, you're going to get a longer leash. So that's why, and for real, they really dissed him. You know what I'm saying? In the media. They dissed him in the media. They dissed him, saying he was the wrong. He been an assistant for 25 years. He been terrible, this, and this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was different, but still, Shotty was in the building. You know what I'm saying? Shotty was in the building. So that's the biggest thing for me is Shotty was in the building, and he was here for, a year and a half. And so the players are already familiar with him. They already know about him. So it was an easy transition, whether you getting somebody from the outside again. I think that's the biggest thing that was prevalent more than anything else, was that he's already in the building. You already know about him. You already understand him. So why are we bringing somebody from the outside and bringing them from the outside in? You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the main reason why he got hired. But you see his effect. You see what he's already doing in these streets. You already see him. I feel like this is the Shotty effect. This is the Shotty effect to where he said, I want an offensive line. They went out and got about 3 offensive linemen. He wasn't satisfied with that. He said, no, I need a real dog. Y'all got Sadiq Charles. Y'all went and got Robert Jones. Y'all got somebody else from the Cleveland Browns. Them ain't the guys. I need a dog because we need to protect Dak. And if we're trying to have this power football, this power running game, then you need to go get me some dogs. And that's where Tyler Booker came in. And like I said, I wasn't mad about the trenches. I wanted a weapon like everybody else. But I'm all about trenches. I want to win up the offensive line, the defensive line. You know what I mean? In these streets, 12-gauge Shotty. What's up, David? What's good with you? Nah, no final word tonight. We'll get that popping again. But we're definitely going to talk about this on the final word. But I was listening to Nick Harris on Twitter. You get what I mean? And he was talking about, Jerry. A lot of people were giving Jerry the credit on being the guy. But Stephen Jones, they said Stephen Jones has had his hand in this real tough this year and this offseason in particular. So I ain't going to hate. You know what I'm saying? I ain't that fond of Stephen Jones. I'm going to keep it real. I ain't fond of him at all. But that ain't about me liking him or him. That ain't about him liking me or me liking him. It's about what you're doing in the office. And if you making moves, I don't got to like you. Are you making it happen for the Cowboys? That's all I care about. You ain't got to like you, but are you making the moves? They made they said they made 5 trades already this year, picked up 20-some players all together in free agency, and then you made this killer trade, and they said they still ain't done. Now all you got to do, what's up, Lansky? Now all you got to do is sign up Micah Parsons. I'd love to see him get done before the season started. Then you rolling. Then you got him happy. He's feeling good. He likes what's going on. You know what I mean? You seen Shotty already moving the people around, doing the leadership a little bit different. And you know what? I mean, it's really, now it's just, y'all got to put the product on the field. I believe in Shotty. I believed in him from day one when they hired him. I didn't like how they went about the hiring because it was like, oh, man, y'all doing the same thing y'all always do. You know what I'm saying? But I feel they lucked up on a real guy. They lucked up on a real guy like Shotty, and that's why I'm excited for it because I feel like he's a real dude, Libra gang, you know what I'm saying? Love that he's doing that. And I feel like when he's talking about real conversations, talking to people, being real and upfront, having accountability. I think that's the biggest thing I'm seeing from the guys right now is accountability. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of conversation back and forth, and that's what Brian Schottenheimer's about. And I feel like that's really going to help this team. And I feel like he's going to look at everybody from the top to the bottom. You're going to see, I'm not going to look at anybody different. We're going to be in this thing together. And players are respecting that because I didn't see that with the other coaches. I didn't see that with Garrett. I saw favoritism. And with Mike McCarthy, seemed like he was a paranoid coach. And Shotty's coming here with a lot of confidence, and I believe a lot of the reason why he's having a lot of that confidence because they are fully backing him. They are giving him full backing, like we're going to do whatever we need to take to make you win. And so if we got to do this, let's do it. So if your front office is behind you, if your front office is giving you the tools, if your front office is doing everything possible to make you great, because like I said, we look over at the Rams, right? We look over at the Eagles and Harry Roseman, how they just continually give him the tools, because like I said, Sirianni wasn't nobody, he wasn't on the radar. He wasn't like the who's who of coaches when they picked him up. He was like an assistant over there in Indy, and they brought him over. He wasn't a guy. He wasn't a big name. But what they did was they surrounded him. He wasn't a big name coach. He wasn't a guy who had head coaching experience. But what they did was, we bring you in, you're new and you're fresh. So we're going to build this team around you. So we're going to make it easier for you as the coach. And look what's happened. He's been to 2 Super Bowls and won 1 in a short time. And that's because the front office backed him. They made shrewd moves in free agency, doing good in the draft. And then the player, he coached what he needed to do, and the players made the plays. That's what the Cowboys can do. Happy birthday, Nick Gear. I hope they ain't done, Loud Pat. I would love to see him if they ain't done. You know what I'm saying? I still want another defensive tackle. You feel me? No problem. I still want another defensive tackle. I feel like they probably pick up a Linville Joseph again. More than anything else, they'll pick up a Linville Joseph. I feel like because when you look out there ain't really no defensive tackles out there that's really going to be like, ooh, Dallas got this defensive tackle. Now it's changing things. I don't see that. I'm still suspect on that defensive tackle group because Cowboys draft greatly in the offensive line, but the defensive line, they still missing it. We talking about Mozzie. I'm still I don't believe it on Mozzie, but hey, keep an open mind. Year 3 is the year. Let's see. Denzel Daxon, and like I said, Justin Rogers, they're just guys. I like Jay Toia, but he's still a rookie and he has holes in his game, so I could see a Linville Joseph getting re-signed, especially he's a free agent right now. He wasn't bad with the team, and what do you need him to do? Really take on the center and guard, plug the holes, open it up for your linebackers, and, we need space eaters in that middle. So I would see them picking up a Linville Joseph again, especially if nobody picks him up. I mean, I don't think they're trading for Buckner. That's going to cost some bread. They already spent a third for next year. I just don't see him. Now, I would love a Buckner, but I just don't see nothing like that. But hey, I can't sit there and say because I didn't think they would do the Pickens. I heard it, but as much as I'm looking at the background and seeing the Joneses ain't made no crazy trade like that since Amari and since 2018, and that's been about 7 years. I really wasn't thinking that they was going to jump out there and really do it. I was hearing a lot of noise in the street, but there's been a lot of noise about the Cowboys and a lot of things don't happen. So I ain't believing nothing until I see it. So I finally see it. So now that keeps my mind open to say, hey, maybe they might make some other moves. Because if you're making these moves and trading them beloved picks, especially that beloved picks, that lets me know maybe you might be trying to do something a little different. But I really feel like that influence of the head coach, I really think they really, really believe in him. And they're really putting the full effort to really show how much they believe. Trust me. And there've been people that were on Twitter because they're tripping on the picks because they're saying he's a rental because he's this is his rookie contract, so this is his last year on his deal. So you spent a 3rd round pick on him and a 3rd round 2026 and a 5th round 2027. So let's say if you don't re-sign him after this year, then you just gave up your 3rd round pick for next year and you don't have the player. That's why they're talking about calling it a rental. But me, I'm like, F them picks, because guess what? It ain't like you getting fired. I'm going to keep on saying that. Jerry and Steven ain't getting fired. So what? You gave up a 3rd round pick and Who's going to do anything to you if it don't work? Like, if this fails and it does not work and you don't re-sign Pickens, I'm not going to be mad at all, because I seen you make effort. I seen you be bold. I seen you actually stop doing all the talking, and you actually put in the work and did it. So if it don't work, I'm just happy y'all are out there actually trying, because you'll never know what's going to work if you never don't try and put forth the effort. And that's the biggest thing to me. At least try and see what happens. If you try and it don't work, at least you tried. But if you don't even try, then how do we get excited as fans and content creators, whatever you want to call it? How do we get excited about team if you're not really trying and putting forth the full effort? And you know, F them picks, dog. That's my motto right now. F them picks. Feel me? If you want to throw away some more picks, go ahead. Get some more real dogs. I'm cool. F them picks, man. You know what I'm saying? You got enough young players on the team. This still is a very young team. This ain't no old team. So this is still a lot of, I think they're around, 25, 26 years of age. So it ain't no old team. This ain't no team that you're getting killed. They've been smart as far as how they did the draft. They were selectively aggressive. They said it. I can't hate on that. They were selectively aggressive in the spots they need to make. They did it. They still got money open. You know, you made some shrewd moves of the guys you picked up. Didn't spend a lot of money. You went and got a dog. Damn. I wish y'all be doing this every year. A lot of Cowboys fans be a lot more hyped, because I think the biggest thing that frustrated me, and maybe they looked at this, I don't know. Maybe they looked at this and I don't know. But when them Commanders went to a championship game, maybe that really made them open their eyes. The Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl in your division, and the Washington Commanders went to a championship game after being terrible, getting the number 1 pick or the number 2 pick in the draft, getting a Jaden Daniels, and they flipped that and go right to a championship game while Dallas is still sitting there. I don't know if that was the straw that broke the camel's back, but for me, that was, because I hate Washington. I hate the Commanders. I hate that team. I hate them more than Philly. You know what I'm saying? I hate them. And to see them go from like a worst to first, yeah, that a worst, not the first, but you saw what happened. So you got 2 teams for your division playing in a championship game, and Dallas is sitting at home. Maybe that shook them up, like, okay, we got to stop playing around because the Commanders are coming in and winning. You know what I mean? So, hell yeah, I bring in some Nick Chubb. I'm still, because he ain't going to cost no money. Nick Chubb ain't going to cost no money. And think about it. Now you got dog receivers. You got a fast guy in Jaden Blue. Hey, you know, you still got, I mean, Miles Sanders ain't no guarantee. Devontae Williams ain't no guarantee. You didn't pay them no big money to stay on the team. You know what I mean? You still got Deuce Vaughn. You got things, but yeah, I'm with that. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Go get some more guys. And like I said, Nick Chubb, I'm with Nick Chubb. Go get Nick Chubb. I'm cool with Nick Chubb. Go get him. You feel me? I'm down with that. And I'm sure he's not going to cost a lot of money, especially since contract up, you're a free agent, you're a running back, you have injury history. I don't think you're going to be able to cost that much money, and Dallas can definitely afford you, especially on a 1-year deal. You're trying to play some power football. You got a power football player right there, and you can still back up him with these fast guys. Now you got a home run hitter in the back. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Thurston? What's up, my dog? You get a Nick Chubb, you sprinkle a Jaden Blue, and hell, I'll keep a Deuce Vaughn. I'll keep him. Deuce Vaughn was playing hard last year. You know what I'm saying? But you get a bell cow guy, not really a bell cow guy, but a guy who can really tote the rock. You sprinkle those other guys in Jaden Blue, and if you want to keep a Deuce Vaughn, because those are your homegrown guys, right? You don't have no love and no love to a Miles Sanders or a Devontae Williams. But your guy Deuce Vaughn, you love keeping your homegrown talent. So, you know, figure that out. Figure that out. I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Figure that out. That's the main thing you got to do. Just figure out how you want to roll and how you want to do it, and it's all good. So how you feeling, Thurston? Because I know you was mad for a long time. You was mad. You know what I mean? And when we did that show with Mike White, You feel me? Mike was throwing hats, going crazy, saying this is going to be the same thing. It's always going to be the same thing. What's up with you, Naptown? But like I said, this is the one example that I said that really, what I told Mike. I said, listen, I'm out here in Ohio. I see the Bengals and the Browns. And the Bengals and the Browns have been bad for so long. But the Bengals went to a Super Bowl. And the main reason why they went to that Super Bowl, because that terrible Mike Brown took a back seat. You know what I'm saying? He took a back seat, and he was one of the worst owners out there. Just like Jerry, he was the owner, general manager, and the president, full control, and just was running the franchise into the ground. Trust me, go look at Cincinnati's history about their player contracts, their players, how the problems they had. I think Carson Palmer sit out one whole year because he said, I ain't playing for them no more because I hate Mike Brown. Said, I can't stand him. And you saw how bad that was over there. And he had the same title like Jerry. But guess what? He took a step back. He let, I believe, his stepdaughter or his sister or daughter-in-law take over. He's not the day-to-day operations guy like he used to be. They made some shrewd moves, picked up Joe Burrow, went to a Super Bowl. Now, they still was one of the El Cheapo. You signed both your receivers. Joe Burrow said, I need both my guys back. They signed both of them. You feel me? So that tells me if he can change, and he was one of the worst, there was potential for it to happen with Dallas. And I'm not saying they fully changed, but I am happy they stepped their game up and are moving a little bit different, because you have the talent. You shouldn't be sitting there wondering why you're not competing with these other teams when you just as talented as them. But you just be missing a few players, relying on undrafted guys, seventh rounders, thinking that's going to get you through when you play them tough games and them tough teams. No, that gets exposed. You need dogs. You need some real dogs. You feel me? And this is the step in the right direction. And also, I don't want to be hearing that noise about Pickens, tripping on field and acting all crazy. Like I said, that comes with part of the territory. Is George Pickens getting in trouble off the field? Is George Pickens getting trouble off the field? Because if he's not getting trouble off the field, I ain't tripping. You feel me? I ain't tripping at all. So, I just wanted to drop this quick video because I'm about to make this run right quick. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate everything y'all do. Love y'all. Even love you haters that was in here too. Love you haters, hoes. Y'all some hoes. Just want to let you know that. He does bring Dez vibes back. Appreciate y'all. About to go take care of some business. Just want to jump on here, talk about the Pickens trade. Excited about it. And I'm sure we're going to be talking more. Me and Star are going to be getting it. We in these streets. Me and Star are getting it in tomorrow. We bringing back the Big Star show. That's going to be exciting. Going to try to get Mike Fisher back on so I can pick his brain. And we're going to talk to Mike about that Burgers and Blitzes, about what just happened. Definitely. So, really appreciate F Them Picks. Remember, what's up, Amp? F Them Picks. F Them Picks. So if you're in the streets, dog, F Them Picks. That's what we about. F Them Picks, dog. I don't give a hell about no third, no fifth, no nothing. You got a dog. And that's all I care about. Feel me? Big game, James, man. I'm out. Love y'all. Go support those content creators out there. We got a lot of dogs in the streets. Go support them. Hit that like button. Share it. All that good stuff. I'll be talking to you soon. Peace.